I never get sick of a humble chicken stew. And this one's very autumnal. I've got lots of different things in here like cloves, celery and pancetta. Pancetta and chicken go so well together. So I'm going to heat up a stew pot, add a good glug of extra virgin olive oil. We're going to sear off our chicken first. Now we need to season our chicken generously with some salt. Now I've got a whole chicken here and I've cut it into 10 pieces. I've also left it on the bone so it doesn't dry out as it cooks. And then to ensure we get a nice thickened sauce, some flour. So just sprinkle some over, not too much, a couple of tablespoons. Grab your tongs and just coat everything in that flour. You don't want it to be thickly coated, just a nice thin piece. So you can notice here that I've also left the skin on because that's flavour too. So in with our chicken, I've got a really large saute pan here. You don't want to be too small and you don't want to overcrowd the pan. So you can do this in batches. The key here is not to cook the chicken, but we're just wanting to get some beautiful colour so we get that gorgeous golden finish on the sauce. So it's best to put less in, cook it quite quickly, take a batch out and put the second batch in. While that's sealing off, I'll chop up some pancetta. Pancetta has a lovely smoky, salty flavour to it. And when it cooks down, it's going to give it a beautiful savoury flavour. So we're going to cut these into battens. And you want to leave the fat on it because the fat's going to flavour the sauce too. So I'm going to cut this into strips and then we'll line everything up and then cut again into little pieces. Now we don't want to put this in yet. This is going to go in with our celery and garlic. So we'll just wait for that chicken to finish sealing off and then we'll get on to the next part. Chicken is looking good, so we can take the last few pieces out. Look at that gorgeous colour. And we can add the pancetta. So 2 big handfuls. We'll just start getting a little colour on our pancetta. In with some celery, 2 stalks finely chopped. Just going to keep it to the bare minimum with some garlic. So 2 cloves of garlic. And we'll just give that a stir. A few extra flavours. I've always got some cloves in my pantry. I think they're such a lovely flavour and they're going to go with the chicken and the sherry that I'm adding. So 3 cloves, some hard herbs. I have a combination of bay leaves and thyme. We'll pop them in as is. And then some sherry. Now sherry is a fortified wine. There are many varieties of sherry out there from sweet all the way to dry. Personally, I want the dry sherry for this. So we'll add a good splash into our pan and we'll just cook off that alcohol slightly. Once that comes to the boil, we'll add some olives. So I've got some green olives here that have been pitted. It's going to be a pop of saltiness. And finally, to make this into a gorgeous sauce, we need some stock. Now this is a superior chicken stock, so we're going to get a lovely chicken flavour from it. We want the whole pack, so 500 mils of that. And we can add our chicken. So just nestle it into our chicken stock. You can cook this in the oven if you like. I'm just going to cook it on the stove, lid on, medium to low heat for about 35 to 40 minutes or until the chicken is tender. So I'm going to serve this with some couscous and I'm going to cook the couscous in some more superior chicken stock. So we're going to heat up about 300 mils of the chicken stock. Into a bowl, I'll measure out 1 cup of instant couscous. And for some extra flavour, a pinch of salt and a few knobs of butter. Now that that stock is boiling, we're going to pour that over our couscous and then cover the whole bowl with some Glad wrap and we'll just wait for that to swell. It'll take no time at all. Okay, couscous is fluffed up nicely and whenever you're separating the grains, just use a fork just so it doesn't clump. And that is the easiest side to serve with our chicken. So we'll place a few spoonfuls onto a bowl and then the pièce de résistance, our gorgeous autumnal chicken stew. I'm in the mood for a thigh and a leg, so we'll just pop that just next to our couscous and a little leg. And then you really don't want to forget all of those lovely little additions that we added. So the olives and the pancetta, we'll just spoon that over. And don't forget that beautiful sauce, a few generous spoonfuls over the top of the chicken. That looks fantastic. A little garnish, if you have some parsley in the fridge or in the backyard, pop that on top to make it look extra pretty. Chicken with autumn flavours, served with couscous. It's a no-brainer for me. I love this kind of food.